Brothers and sisters in Christ, it is with immeasurable sorrow, certainly, that we gather today to celebrate the life of our sister, Laura, to celebrate her life. As a minister of the church, as a minister of the Christian faith, as a Catholic priest, the mystery of the resurrection is core to what I believe, to the faith I profess. It is that mystery that gives life to all of the things we believe as Catholics in this church, and that share with many other Christian faith, with many other Christian ministers, with many other Christian believers who share in that same belief. And yet again, at the same time, there's no funeral that is simply, so to speak, easy to approach or to celebrate or to encounter the people that come from different places to grieve their loved ones. And so it is on those times and during those times that I have to, in some way, come even closer to the Lord and ask the Lord to be with the people who are grieving. As we who have lost a loved one, perhaps experience, perhaps have some sort of approach, some sort of touch with this reality of death, we come to encounter yet again the very mystery of what are we doing in the first place? What are we here for? And in some way, it is tempting to also, when we welcome other people from a different faith, or even in the same Christian faith into our church, to wonder, can I be gentle in what I'm preaching? Can I be gentle in the proclamation of the word? How can we make it more accommodating? But it's easy to forget that there are other things that are much more important than us being offended or us falling in the same lines, because we are here to celebrate the life of a loved one, her legacy, her love, and all of the things that we in one way or another experience from that person. So we're not gathered here as when we do at a wedding for what we can get out of it, but we're gathered here in a spirit of love and true faith, family, the sort of relationship that doesn't come just by a contract, but the relationships that are inherent in our very family, in our very motherhood, in our very fatherhood, and our siblings. And so it is with that love that we meet together, and in a way, in that same tension, celebrate today Laura's life. Yes, it is true and it is very real that grief has many different dimensions to it. And in a specific way, it is collective, the grief we share as a people who knew this loved one. And then on another side is very particular to the relationship that you, Chad, Michael, had with Laura. That each one of the friends and family who knew her, who spent the time, that relationship that is personal, only you will understand and only you will know what that grief is. And so in some way, celebrating her life is also bringing to life the goodness of who she is, the goodness of who she was, the goodness of what she shared with you that made a difference in your life, that in some way prompt you to be here. And for those who could not be here, that they are tuning in, because in some way your life was touched, your life was moved by Laura's love for life, for her faith, and for God. And as we may wonder about any other good things and things that are particular to her life and that we can remember in celebrating her life and her legacy, the most important thing is that she is a beloved daughter of God. The highest truth of our being, the highest truth of who she is, the highest truth of who she was. We could hear her talk, smile, care for animals in a shelter, the highest truth is that she is a beloved daughter of God. And that God delighted in Laura even before she came to be born on her birthday in October. And that God delighted in her every moment of her life, because to God we are perfect. Brothers and sisters, the world will tell us and tag us by our mistakes and the things we might have done wrong in any way or form. But not Jesus, not God. God calls us by our name even in the midst of our mistakes, even in the midst of our imperfection and our flaws. God calls us by name. And as we celebrate and remember Laura, we also remember that the same God who called her by name to be the person that she was, to affect the world in the way that she did, called her by name too. And it is not that, unlike other people, say like people before Christ, who had to wonder where they were going to go when they died, what was going to happen to their soul or their body when they died. The only one who has proven that to be truth is Jesus. That death does not have the last word. The only one who promised that he would resurrect on the third day and did it has the last word. And that's the word that Laura believed in. The word of truth, the word of love, the word incarnate of the resurrection, Jesus Christ. So as we go and continue in living out this tension of sorrow and celebration and the hope that is particular to the Christian faith that was not existent before Christ, we meet our hearts in that same middle ground of hope and charity with Laura, with the Jesus she believed in, with the God that she believed in and professed, the God of the resurrection, where death doesn't have the final word. And as we go on, we continue to remember we don't grieve, brothers and sisters, we don't cry for people we don't love. We don't grieve and we do not cry. We don't hurt for people we do not love. Our tears, our sorrow, the uncertainty, and all the mixed emotions that are very real to the grief we feel this day, all of those things belong in there because they're a manifestation and a sign of love. The love that you have, the love that you had, the love that is between you and Laura, and the same love that we get from God, our loving Father, the Father who rejoices this day because her daughter is finally home.